everyone, this week's vlog is going to be about something that's a little serious, but it's something that I feel that we need to talk about. And it really is the fact that none of us are invincible. And a lot of us don't want to think about that. We just want to live in la la land and hope that everything works out. But it's so important to slow down and actually recognize that and realize that, because it's not so that we can live in fear. We're not going to do this to, be focusing on the negative. It can really help us to live our life better, to really make the most of our lives and what we've been given each and every day. And so there's three things that I want to talk about in this vlog about none of us being invincible. I'm living proof of that. I found that out on November 11th of 1997. I thought I could live my life and never have anything bad happen. And this was where my eyes were completely opened to the fact that none of us are invincible. And so in my journey, I've learned many things, and really seeing how many people actually have spinal cord injuries a year. I thought I was the only one that would have a spinal cord injury or was sitting in a wheelchair. And I found out how common that was. And I'm sure if you're dealing with something today, some type of injury or illness, you realize that there are other people that are also going through what you've been through. And so we need to look at our lives, examine them. That's why I've been doing the blogs on living in the moment, how I overcame my anxiety, because I want all of us to be free, to really look back at the end of our lives, even if we were to die tomorrow, and have zero regrets. And so that's my goal. That's my goal every day, is that if today was my last day, there's nothing that I would have changed. And so that's why we're going to talk about this today. So the first thing in looking at none of us are invincible is really realizing the power of the people that have been put in our lives, the people that are family members, our friends, who have maybe hurt us, who have maybe said or done things that have really caused a scar, caused us pain. And because of that, many of us are holding on to unforgiveness. And I will tell you that that is something that I've had to work through in my path, in my journey, because there's been people that have said hurtful things. There have been people that have done things to me that have hurt me and hurt my feelings. And it's so easy to want to hold a grudge. It's so easy to be like, well, forget you. I'm not going to communicate with you anymore. I'm going to put you out of my life. And yet, in realizing that we may not be here tomorrow, and realizing that that person may not be here tomorrow, it's really important to forgive. I've heard a quote saying, unforgiveness is like drinking a poison and expecting someone else to die. When we have unforgiveness, we hold grudges, when we have resentment towards others, it is killing in our lives. It is stealing in our lives. But yet I've also seen so many people that have lost loved ones recently and have said, I wish I would have communicated with them more. I wish I wouldn't have held that grudge, because they missed out on a relationship where there could have been healing and they could have moved on. So forgiveness is so important in realizing how to live life to the fullest. The second thing is to really, I know a lot of us have loved ones and we're always like, oh, they'll be here tomorrow. I'll tell them I'll love them tomorrow. They know I love them. They don't need to hear that from me. Yes, they do. And when it comes to none of us being invincible, we have to tell our loved ones how we feel, that we love them, that we cherish them, that we're thankful for them, because you don't know if they're going to be here tomorrow. You don't know if you're going to be here tomorrow. And so that's the second thing, is to, sometimes it's scary to open yourself up. Sometimes it's scary to be vulnerable like that, but your loved ones need to hear that. Thirdly, which is the most important, is that we have to make the most of each and every day. And I already said that a couple times here, but we have to choose to live a life of joy, no matter where we are at, no matter what we are going through. All of us have pains. All of us have struggles. All of us have challenges. But knowing that tomorrow could be our last day is where we have to stop living in the past, stop living with regrets, stop living with fear, and choose joy. Choose to live a life of peace and just really making peace with yourself, the things that you don't like about yourself, and also really knowing, because so many people fear the future, knowing that if just something did happen, if what you fear, if you fear being in a wheelchair, if you fear losing a loved one, whatever it is that you fear, it's knowing that you're strong enough to make it through if it were to happen. That nothing can be the end of you, that these things that we fear, like I feared being in a wheelchair, ended up being a huge blessing. And so know that you're stronger than you think you are. Know that even if what you fear in the future does happen, you're going to make it through it. You're going to come out on the other side. And so I hope you've been inspired by my message today. I hope that you are encouraged and just knowing, again, stepping back and examining our lives, stepping back and seeing, who do I need to forgive? Who do I need to tell them that I love them and I'm thankful for them? And how can I live with more joy in my life? See you next time.